For the longest time now, heading into a test series that will be played in India, there's always been one major talking point. How exactly is the pitch going to play? That has, of course, intensified a lot more after last year when Australia visited India for the Border Gavaskar Trophy and were served up some, let's just say, some pretty questionable pitches. And that talk was, of course, dominating the discourse even before the England tour. And whilst obviously the first two England tests have seen markedly different pitches than you would remember in recent memory. Hyderabad was a slow turner, and Vizag, well, Vizag was a very sporting wicket that was offering enough batting, purchase and ability even heading into the penultimate day of the test match. So it was a pretty different pitch from the kind of rank turners that you've gotten used to seeing in recent times, whereby a spinner could just spin the ball and deliver it at an accurate line and length and just let the pitch do the rest. Now, is that something that's going to continue going forward? Were these two pitches aberrations? And perhaps most importantly, what's the pitch in Rajkot going to play like? Rajkot, of course, a key test match in the series, given that you're two tests in, it's one apiece, and whoever wins this now will go into the last two tests with an obvious advantage, given that you only have to win one of the two tests to ensure you have sealed the series. So, what exactly is that Rajkot pitch going to look like? Well, simple. We've actually spoken to someone with inside information, source within the BCCI and in the know, and well, gotten some interesting updates on what the pitch should look like. Now, first off, if you are someone who is pro sporting pitches and someone who's anti-rank turners, good news for you, this one seems to be veering on the latter side of things. This is what the source told us, says that the Rajkot wicket is going to be a good test wicket. It will help both batters and bowlers. Now again, this does remind you a lot in some ways of the more traditional test match pitches that you would get in India, where in the first 2.5-3 days you'd be able to bat, and then after that the spinners would really come into play. This does, at least so far, suggest that it is going to be on that track. Could very well be similar to the one that we saw in Vizag or potentially even Hyderabad, where despite the fact that the ball was turning a lot, it was mostly slow turn and batters were able to negotiate it well if they got settled. And that really is a lot of what people are asking for. They're saying that it's better you have sporting pitches that offer up enough opportunities for both batters and bowlers. So if you're someone who believes in test match pitches being like that, well, good news for you. And in case you think that this is just let's say something that is being said for the sake of being said, let's point out that that has in fact been the case in the first two tests. And we have another interesting little tidbit on what it is that we can expect. Hear this one out. Nobody is going to be disappointed at all after taking one look at the wicket in Rajkot. Now, the one look thing, of course, stems from the fact that more often than not, most teams will have someone, whether it be the captain, the head coach, or a member of the coaching staff, who's pretty good at looking at the pitch and saying, look, it's going to play this way or it's going to play that way. This time around, what's being said is that you're going to take one look at it and you're not going to be disappointed, which further doubles down on the fact that you could potentially be seeing sporting wickets. But why the change suddenly? Why move from rank turners, which were admittedly working well for you, at least from a results perspective, to more sporting pitches? The answer is simple. India have chosen to back the skill of their own bowlers over letting England's inexperienced spinners get a clear and obvious advantage that they would get if you were getting spinning pitches. You could argue that you've learned the lessons from the Border Gavaskar Trophy, where you had two inexperienced spinners in Todd Murphy and Matthew Kuhneman run roughshod over you. And this time around, you have negated at the very least the advantage that people like Tom Hartley and Shoaib Bashir could potentially be getting if served up a rank turner. You've chosen to back the skill of your bowlers and admittedly also give your batters more of a chance of influencing the game than simply just relying on rank turn and the opposition's inability to cope with spin when it is at its vicious worst. And I personally am a fan of that. I think you should be preparing sporting conditions. Of course, sporting in the sense should also be true to how Indian wickets play, and Indian wickets traditionally have always spun. Nothing wrong with a spinning wicket, plenty wrong with a wicket that's turning square from day one, and thankfully it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting that kind of a pitch in Rajkot. Of course, you could never really tell for sure, but at least so far the noises that you're getting here around it sound very promising. But what are your thoughts on the mat? Are you happy that you're getting a sporting pitch? Do you want a rank turner? Are you okay either way? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and tap that bell icon as well. Also go ahead, follow us for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app and stay tuned. We have plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.